I mean, the universe, in some weird way, always sort of finds, like, for people that become very successful, especially like yourself, it's almost like that's the best way to do it. Like, I've never met anybody where I was like, your way to do it is the wrong way to do it. Like, everybody that I meet that becomes successful, especially like overnight people, it's like, oh, I see all these well, that's why you're good. That's why you're good.
Yeah.
You're good because you had a real life, like a real tortured, regular life, like regular people. If you're in the fucking Mickey Mouse Club when you're 14, and then all of a sudden you're famous. I mean, I love Miley Cyrus to death, and she's fucking insanely talented. And I heard her new album is her best ever. Everybody's raving about it. But I feel bad for people that become famous when they're young. I just feel like that's a heavy burden for you to have to carry, and you didn't ask for it. You can't ask for it. You don't know what it is. It's like it's like getting a face tattoo when you're 5. Like, it's like, I want to get a heart tattooed on my forehead. Let everybody know I'm full of love. Like, okay, Billy, let's take you to the tattoo parlor. Like, I want to be famous so everybody knows me. Yeah. Okay, Billy, let's get you in front of TV.
Yeah, and it's tough because then everyone's perception of everything's different anyway based off the way they were brought up. Like, the way you and I look at something, we both look at something a certain way, and it's our way of looking at it, and to us that's reality, but everyone's perception is just different, just inherently, just based off the way we were raised, and maybe even our genetics and the way our things we've experienced, or the way our parents taught us things. And so, like, yeah, it is tough if you get thrown into that at such an early age, because this is just I feel bad for anybody that gets thrown into all this anyway. Like, the things I've seen and heard and witnessed, and
just in a couple of weeks,
you need to do this and you got to do that. And
yeah, but like that's just people
this kind of crazy
this
almost crazy sense of urgency everyone's sort of thrown on me to do something with this, and it's like I don't. At the end of the day, I've got to remember who I was, a month ago, and I've got to make sure that and it's okay to evolve from that and change. And like, I don't want to always be stuck being that guy, but I don't want to like leave him behind either. I don't want to.
Listen, man, just be yourself. You're going to be fine. This is like this conversation that we had over the phone. I said, fuck all those urgent people. You have talent. You have talent. You don't need anything else but talent. Talent and authenticity. You got both of those things. This urgency thing. What the fuck are they talking about? You literally had the #1 song like instantly. Well, you can't do that again. How the fuck do you know? Yeah. You don't know jack shit. These people are crazy. They don't understand what's going on, and they don't understand what it's like to be famous. You are in a weird spot
I think
right
what's so
now.
weird
what
about
you need to do right now is just keep being you. And don't let anybody control you, and don't let anybody and certainly don't let anybody put you on some crazy publicity campaign to try to capitalize on this great moment and immediately get some large record machine behind you and mass produce.
Because that really goes against the whole message that I wanted to get out in the first place. And so, what would it benefit me to sign a big deal or have some, like, I don't know, as busy as things get, I don't know that I'd ever let anybody even manage my social media and stuff. Like, that's just something that I'd like to have the hand on. And then if,
I do mine. I do all mine.
Yeah.
I don't let anybody do my shit.
Well,
That's
I think
ridiculous.
like just with your, like we talked about earlier, your show in general, the reason people watch it isn't, you could add more people in and have more special effects and lights and what, figuratively speaking, like you could make this into something bigger than what it already is, but it would just take away. Like, sometimes the more you add, the more you take away. It's the fact that you have conversations with people that you're genuinely interested in. Like, we don't have enough real conversation anyway in the world. Like,
we have very little.
I had never had a Twitter account, and so I made one a couple weeks ago to like start uploading. Everybody's, you got to get on X and upload all the stuff. And within like a week, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like,
I'm tapping out. Yeah, I don't read any of my stuff on Twitter. I do post occasionally. What I do like to do is repost things that I think are interesting. I do like that.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, that's what Instagram, I put that up on.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people liked it. I think on my account alone, it had more than, let me say, I'll tell you how many views it had. I want to say it's somewhere around 11 million views. I was explaining to someone the other day. I was like, do you know how insane that is?
Yeah.
Like, that you could put something up that this guy just made 12.8 million views.
Wow.
That's bonkers, dude. That's bonkers. That's a lot of fucking human beings. That's a lot of human beings.
Yeah, so I've had to ask myself like why that happened the way it did, and look, I've said this 100 times already, but like I'm certainly no preach. Like people have made comments about like, oh well, why does he reads scripture or whatever and talks about God, but then he does other things like I do have some foul language and I do sing some songs that I've written about whatever, getting high and hanging out in the woods. But like, it's just what I am. Like, I'm not here to say that I'm anybody better than anybody else by any means.
Well, didn't God invent the woods and weed?
Yeah, well, there you go.
I don't believe anybody that tells you that God doesn't want you to have weed.
I do want to use, if there's anything I would like to capitalize on with my opportunity, it's just like, because for me, just being in the position that I've been in the last 2 years and just the trash I've had in my head is, I tell you, like, I don't care who. And look, I haven't been in a church in 10 years, and I'm not saying I'd ever go back into one again. I don't know about all that, but there's a lot of things in Proverbs and Ecclesiastes that make sense and are timeless to today. Like if people just could if people could just have enough open-mindedness to just read a little bit of Proverbs and just see what it has to say, I think like it would make the world a better place. There's a lot of truth in those words. They don't just talk about it. It's real life advice that I work toward every day, applying in my own life.